Are you an existing or aspiring entrepreneur who needs to increase his sales? Or maybe a sales agent, insurance, or real estate who needs to add to his skills? Or maybe somebody who needs extra income and needs to sell a product or a service? So, welcome to our webinar. This is selling tips for those who don't want to sell. So, we'll be talking about how to get sales without selling because a lot of people don't like to sell. Actually, 95% of the people, of the population, don't like to sell. But they need income, so you need to really sell something or get something sold. So we'll talk about scoping your client's requirements or scoping your client, presenting, and also closing in this webinar. At the end of this presentation, we will have a bonus, so stay tuned and click subscribe and like this video. Take note that people love to buy but not sold to. Okay? They have budget, they do research, they love to buy but they don't like other people selling to them. They don't like to be sold to. Okay? And note that you will be enriched in every way so that you can be generous on every occasion. That's from 2 Corinthians 9:11. It's not a sin to be rich, okay? And to be rich, you really need to sell. You need to learn how to sell. And in this webinar, we'll show you how, we'll help you how to do it, okay? People buy from you if first they know you. You're offering something, they have something they need, and you're offering it. Do you have a product or a service that you can provide or solve their problems? They have to know first that you're offering that. Second is they like you. Okay? They'll buy from you if they like you and they trust you. They like you because they know your history, they trust you because you have integrity, you do what you're saying. Okay? Take note that customers don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That's very important. Knowing the features of your products or the numbers in what you're offering is not enough. The customer needs to know that you care and you're there to solve their problems. So that means you have to focus more on helping them versus selling to them. You don't create a problem for them. You have to know their problem and help them solve their problems. Focus on listening versus talking. Listen to what they are really looking for and not on what you want to tell them or what you are presenting. It's very annoying when sellers or agents tell you a lot of things that their product is this, their service is this, it's better than the competitor, etc., etc., without really pointing out how this product or this offering is solving their problem. So you really have to move back and listen to what they really need and focus more on helping them and listen carefully what do they need and how you can help them with your product, with your idea or concept or your service. Now, if you have specific questions in mind for your specific offering, then that's good. But if you don't have one, maybe you can use this form, what I call form, to talk about things where you can scope what really is the problem in different areas of your customers' life. Will you help them using your product or your service? So form stands for different topics actually. F stands for family. So maybe you can talk about family, especially if this is a close friend. Talk about the kids, or if they're single, talk about their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their spouse, newly married. So talk about them and listen carefully. There might be times when they talk about their wish list, their pain points. Listen to that and take note in your mind those items. Talk about their occupation. How's their work? Or are they looking for work? What are they looking for in their work? What's the best thing they like in their work, and what's the worst thing that they don't like in their work? From there, you'll see pain points. You'll see things that they want to solve, and maybe with your product or your service, you can help them with that. Also, talk about recreation, or if they have in mind their retirement, then what's their ideal retirement? Maybe you can ask them the question, if they have the time and the money, what would they do, or where would they go, or where will they spend it? From there, you will be able to see their aspirations. What are they looking for? Or what are their problems that prevents them from retiring or prevents them from doing their recreation? And lastly, M stands for motivation. Right now, they're busy of something. They have to have a goal, and maybe you can ask them what's their goal at this point. What's their focus? What are they focusing on? And from there, maybe your product or your service can help them solve that problem or reach their goals. Now, there are two main reasons why people buy. One is they like it, or they need it to relieve pain. Now, out of these two reasons, people most likely will buy to relieve pain. Like, for example, if you have a budget for a new mobile phone, for example, a high end smartphone, and suddenly your tooth aches and you need to go to the dentist for that removal, you now have the choice between using that budget for a new smartphone or going to the dentist. And most probably, you'll pass on the mobile phone and go to the dentist and have that very painful tooth extracted. Now, that's a crazy example, but actually, there are a lot more examples that have these two in conflict. So, look for the pain instead of looking something aspirational. Okay, and if you have a product or a service that solves a lot of problems for your clients or customers, then that's good. Now, when it's your turn to present, to talk to your client, talk with eye contact. Even if it's virtual, no? Like today, it's in ECQ, we're in ECQ, in quarantine, in lockdown. There's no way to do face-to-face selling. So if you're selling via webinars or via Zoom or via video conference, you have to look at the camera so that the client will see that you're sincere. So they'll know you, they like you, and they trust you. Now, when you present, talk about the RUB. First is that your product or your service must be relevant to them. Again, you already know what they needed during your scoping period from the FORM. Based on their problems that they mentioned or the pain points they mentioned, how is your product or your service relevant to them? And what's the unique offering or USP, unique selling proposition of your product or service that they won't get from other providers. So let's say they need an extraction for their tooth. Why you and why not other dentists? So maybe your USP is you have a very convenient clinic, or you have very competitive rates, or you have extra bonuses, etc. Or if you're offering an insurance or real estate, maybe you have a comparison of the rates with other competitors. What's unique about your offering? And also, talk about the benefits. What are the benefits of your offering? Now, the benefit can solve different requirements or different problems. So, focus on the problems that they have already mentioned. Okay? Don't give them all the benefits that really are not relevant to them. Again, your offering should be relevant. Now, to be more focused, to be more precise on your offerings, on your benefits, take note also of the four different personalities. One is the red. No, these are the four color personalities. The first one are the red, or those who like to be first always. They are the drivers. They are the leaders. If there's a team, they always want to volunteer to be the leader, and they always want to be on stage. They always want to be seen by everybody. And if you look at their clothes, look at their accessories, it's branded and it's not fake. They always want to be ahead. They always want to be first. So if your product or offering gives them an edge over everybody else, or makes them more popular than everybody else, or makes them lead the pack, and maybe you have to mention those benefits to them. The second personality are the yellows. This is the opposite of the reds. The yellows are uh, typically very quiet, okay, and they always love the family. They always consider everybody, even strangers, as family. They love everybody. These are the people who are very charismatic and very inspirational, and they like to help people. So if you offer them something that will bring them on stage and be exposed to everybody, they won't like that. The reds will like that, but the yellows don't. But if you offer them something that will make them, enable them to help a lot of people, then they'll listen to you. They'll be interested in what you're offering. So again, your benefits could span different personalities, different problems. You have to be specific. You have to be precise on what are the benefits specifically and relevant to them. The third one are the fun people. These are the blues. These people just like to have fun, right? They don't like to lead people. They're also not too quiet. They're not yellow. They just like to have fun. So everywhere they go, they look for parties. They like to have fun. They dress daring clothes, right? And they're always the fun of the party. Okay, they always crack jokes, etc. So if your offering, if your product or your service is fun, no, like parties, event organizing, mga parties, etc., then maybe that's the thing that you can offer them. Now, the exact opposite of the blues are the greens. These are the analytical people. They always want to hear the facts, right? And these people you won't be able to convince by telling them that they can help a lot of people, or there's a party, we will have fun, or they will lead the group, they'll be presented, they'll be on stage presenting to people. You won't get them through those benefits. They only want to see the facts. So just give them the facts, give them the bulleted uh, figures, right? The bulleted features of your product and your service, and just give them time to study. Now, the strength of these green people is that they can follow a system. So if you have a franchise, for example, and you have bulleted step-by-step process on what to do, the greens are very good at following the process. The blues don't. They don't like step-by-step process. They don't care. When they hear party, they just go. They don't care if they have the budget or they have the time. They just go, right? The green people need to know before they go to a party what's the budget, when is it, how long it will take, etc. How many people will go there? Are the reservations cleared, etc. Right? So these are the different personalities, and again, you have to focus your benefits to specific personalities so that it will be more relevant to them and they'll see the benefits of your offering. Now, if you like to know what color you are, you can go to markaceta.com. He actually coined the idea of these four color personalities. Aside from the four personalities, there are also different life stages. The first one is to survive, right? These are the people who work on a daily basis and earn on a daily basis. And if they don't work, they don't get paid, they don't eat, they just need something to survive. After that, they are able to sustain. They have regular jobs, they have regular pay, enough to make a living. And after that, they succeed. They achieve their goals. They, let's say, buy their own house. They buy the cars that they want. They're stable. They have a family. They're able to sustain that family. They have a business or a high-paying job, and then after that they want to be significant as well, right? So they help a lot of people. They create foundations like Bill and Melinda Gates. They created a foundation. They have more than enough that they can help a lot of people. So your offering, your product or your service, again, consider these life stages. Where are they at? And mention only, be focused, be precise on the benefits of what you're offering based on their life stages. Okay? Now, most of the sales, you only have 10% success rate. Okay? Meaning out of 10 that you have presented to or offered to, only one will say yes or buy the product. That means you have 90% or 9 more people that will say no or maybe not yet, or 90% fail. So you have 10% success and 90% fail. Okay? Now, in every business, in every career, that happens. not all job applicants gets accepted, right? Not all cars that passes through the street of KFC goes on the in the drive-through of KFC and buys food. Okay, it's always a statistics, and it's always fewer. The success rate is always fewer than the fail rate. But then again, that's business, and people earn because of that. Now, take note: all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. That's from Proverbs 14:23. You really have to work hard. You just need to work smart as well. Okay, you know how to sell. The next thing is that you have to know what kinds of products or service or business that you want to sell that will give you more benefits. Okay, manage your time, manage your skills. Facts tell, stories sell. Now, there are two ways to present your product. You can present it bullet by bullet in terms of benefits, etc. That may work for the green people, but for most of the people, like the red, the yellow, and the blues, you have to tell stories. People remember stories versus remembering specifications of a certain product, right? Or figures. They will remember stories. And stories engage the emotions, and people buy because of emotions, not really because of logic, right? So try to look for or bank in stories, okay, aside from the facts that you have. Now, there are five common objections. Those 90% that says no, they usually have objections. And you just have to prepare for the five common objections or five common questions. And then, if there are other objections outside the top five, then maybe you can tell them, I'll get back to you on that. Okay? And then tell your superior or ask your superior for help on how to answer these questions of your potential clients. So the first one is don't have the money. Okay? So it really depends. It's not really they don't have the money, but maybe they don't have the budget for that kind of product or service. Because if you ask them, if for example they have a loved one, like a spouse or a parent, who went to jail for something that they did not do, okay? They know that they did do, but the bail is, let's say, 5,000 pesos, or how much is needed for your product or your service. And it's a Friday, so if they don't come up with a bail, the parent or the spouse will stay there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they'll be able to pay the bill Monday pa. So they'll be there for 3 days. So in that scenario, do you think they have the money or don't? Even if they don't have the money, they'll find a way to look for 5,000 pesos to bail out that loved one, right? So again, it depends on their priorities, depends on their budget. So you just prepare an answer to those kinds of objections. Second is no time. So maybe if your product or what you're offering will make their work more efficient, make them save more time, maybe you can mention that as one of the benefits of getting your product or your service. It's really something that they need now, especially now that they don't have the time, right? Or they'll ask somebody else for approval, like they'll ask their spouse or they'll ask their parent before they decide, or they'll tell you, I can't decide on this, I have to ask my superiors, etc. So prepare something, prepare a story, or prepare an example of other clients who did decide on the spot and what happened, and then they ask their spouse or their parent afterwards, no, etc. Just prepare for an answer for this kind of objection. Next is it real? No, they are doubtful if your product or your service is new. They're not sure if it's for real. Then maybe you can prepare some third-party validation, like a listing of the top 20, top 10, etc., or a certificate that this is real, or maybe a story, right, of a client who availed of your product or your service, and this happened, and maybe bring that client, or maybe have a video testimony of that client, right? So you can prepare that so that when the client ask you or they have a doubt if it's for real, then you can show them those answers or those videos. And lastly, can I do it? If what you're offering involves the client to do something, like to sell as well with you, right? Then you can maybe tell them that you have an after sale support, you have a lot of trainings, you have orientations that will help them. Even if they don't know how to sell, you have trainings, or you can help them in the first few clients. Like, I have a software company and I accept resellers, right? So when you, let's say, become a reseller of my software, then in your first 10 clients, I'll go there. I'll be the one presenting. I'll do the demo of the software to your client, so that during that time, you learn how to do it. Okay? So everybody can learn how to sell. Now, again, we have discussed the scoping, and that's where we have to focus on listening, the FORM, some topics that you can discuss. Actually, the FORM, you can discuss this with your friends instead of talking about the latest Korean novela. We also discussed about the four personalities: the red, the blue, the yellow, and the greens. Again, the reds are the first ones, the drivers. The yellows are the opposite, which are the family-oriented people, the inspirational, charismatic people. The blues are the fun people, like they just like to have parties. They always have to have like to have fun. And the greens are those who always want to know the facts, the analyticals, right? They always need proof. And we also talked about the four stages: the survival stage, the sustainable stage, the successful stage, and also the significant stage, right? And during the presentation, focus more on helping them versus selling them something. Okay? Listen to what they need and help them solve their problems. Help them relieve the pain. Okay? Focus on that. And also, your offering should be RUB. It should be relevant to them, it should be unique, and also it should have benefits. And also, tell more stories versus more bulleted specifications or features. Okay? Now, during the close, take note of the top five objections that you can answer and prepare for. Okay? Focus on results over excuses. Now that you know this, the only difference now is that will you act on it or no? Okay? If you have something that you can sell already, then good, go and use the tips that I have shown you. If not, maybe you want to be one of my resellers in my software. You can message me in my Facebook, or in the comments below. Just mention reseller. Okay, then maybe you can be one of my resellers for my software. Just start somewhere. Okay, don't just listen and then just sit down or sleep. Okay, do something. You either have results or you have excuses. Okay, some of the excuses would be they don't know enough, they're not prepared enough, they need more information, etc. Just start. Okay, and from there you learn while you do it. You cannot have both. You either have results or you have excuses. Focus on progress over perfection. You don't need to know everything. Okay, just start and you will learn on the way there. Focus on progress. Okay, God has plans to prosper you. Even if you don't have your own plans, God already has plans for you, and it's to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. That's from Jeremiah 29:11. Okay, so with that, I'd like to thank you. Please subscribe, like, and please share this video so that we can help more people. Go to kalugdan.com and subscribe so you'll get more videos like this that will help you improve in life. Okay? Now, here's the bonus that I mentioned earlier. Get a copy of the presentation. Just answer our feedback at kalugdan.com/feedback. Go there. It's a simple one-pager survey form. Give us your feedback and your email, and then we'll send you a copy of this presentation to your email. Okay? So again, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video.